He wasn't a soldier, he didn't carry a gun, and yet, during one of the most brutal battles of the Vietnam War, he ran towards the bullets, not away from it. Joseph L. Galloway was not a soldier, yet he found himself in the thick of one of the most intense and harrowing battles of the Vietnam War. The Battle of La Drang in November 1965. As a young journalist with the United Press International, Galloway's mission was to observe, report, and tell the story of the soldiers fighting in a conflict that was increasingly shaping world history. Unlike the soldiers that he was with, he had no military gear, no rifles, and no military training. So he basically had no tactical advantage, yet in the most unforgiving terrain of Vietnam, the distinction between civilian and soldier blurred as bullets and mortars tore through the landscape around him. The La Drang Valley, where he landed with Lieutenant Cowhell Moore and the 1st Battalion, 7th Cavalry, was a crucible and modern warfare. Steep ridges, dense jungle, and a determined North Vietnamese army waiting to ambush anybody who entered. I don't think this guy knew what was really about to happen, because right away Galloway quickly found himself immersed in chaos, with the defeating roar of artillery, the burst of automatic fire, and the screams of wounded soldiers piercing in the air. In these moments, he was no longer just a reporter, he was a witness to the raw human cost of war, and the circumstances around him forced him into a role beyond his expectations. So basically, things are about to get serious. During the battle, he repeatedly exposed himself to enemy fire to rescue wounded soldiers, carrying men to safety across an open terrain while bullets flew around him. And in one event, he literally had to carry a wounded soldier to a helicopter under intense crossfire, an act that demonstrated courage and compassion during the most extreme circumstances. It was unpredicted for a civilian to act with such bravery on the battlefield, yet he moved with one single purpose: to save lives. While documenting the truth of combat, his actions were later recognized with a Bronze Star, making him the only civilian ever in Vietnam to get this reward. He took this extraordinary risk despite being unarmed and not trained for combat. Beyond him just doing that really crazy act of bravery during that battle, his experience and reporting as a war correspondent was so unique, because you could only get that if you were literally there. Through his experiences, his reporting made it next level, because he wasn't just sitting back at home writing this or at the office. He was in the field with the other soldiers. He was facing life and death, so he wasn't just an observer anymore. He was now a participant in the war. He risked everything to be in the heart of this brutal and controversial war. His first-hand experience there also led to a movie that you might know, because his first-hand experiences during the Battle of La Drang also became the foundation for the best-selling book We Were Soldiers Once and Young. Co-written with no other than Lieutenant Jen Hall Moore, this book would later be adapted into the 2002 war movie We Were Soldiers, starring Mel Gibson as the Lieutenant Cool Moore. This movie brought Galloway's story to the world, portraying him as an unarmed correspondent in the middle of the firefight and highlighting the courage he displayed in rescuing soldiers under fire. Through the movie, millions of people were able to see not only the intensity and the chaos of combat, but also the bravery and humanity that a civilian could display in the most dangerous circumstances. So Galloway is now, I would say, immortalized in history and in pop culture. He reminds us that courage does not always come in the form of a uniform or a weapon, but sometimes in the willingness to enter danger unarmed, to risk oneself for others. Joseph L. Galloway's presence in Vietnam, his actions under fire, and his tireless dedication to chronicling the human cost of war serve as a powerful example as bravery, compassion, and the enduring power of the truth in the most violent of circumstances. He was not a soldier, but in the most intense moments, he embodied the courage of one.